Thank you. Oh,
This is
wow.
our showroom. As you can see, we have a wide variety of ceramics. And the genesis of the journey of my love of baskets and playing around with baskets is from these ceramic pots. There are all sorts. There's terracotta ones.
Oh, I can see these with the prints.
Yes, there's some done in acrylics. And there's some that are glazed inside and out.
I see the shine.
And there are all sorts of other products that we do here. But I would like to pay tribute first to my husband.
Oh,
And the genesis of these pots from more pottery. I also want to pay tribute to a very dear friend of mine, Marissa Jordan. This is Marissa. Marissa, thank you for being such a wonderful friend and companion and encouraging me through my journey with my baskets. Marissa partnered with David Annette to write this brilliant book called Wired. And Wired basically showcases all the wonderful work that Marissa has done with baskets out of Zen Zulu, her studio in Durban. And she has worked with various artists to produce all these beautiful wire baskets. Thank you very much, Marissa. So in the studio, we work with young artists like Erica here. And you can see we start from bisque, and Erica is doing some pieces in acrylic, which will end up being these beautiful pots, some of the beautiful pots you see around here. Let's go to my baskets studio. And we're just about to do an export, actually. So all these baskets here are off to my friend Hawa, who is based in the US, counting them up, and they're off to get fumigated, and they should be shipped by the end of the coming week. So let's talk about my journey with baskets.
lovely. I'm just going to get a little carried away because I love the setting of these.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Very nice. And I think these are light fixtures made with woven grass.
Yes, those are light fixtures, locally made in Lusaka, because I not only work with rural-based men and women weavers, but I also work with urban-based weavers. And they come over and we collaborate and we make all sorts of things, from lampshades to laundry baskets to bespoke pieces for our clients. So where would you like me to begin?
I think you tell us the story of how you got into baskets and what you love about it.
Okay. Like I said, my genesis with the baskets, the beginning was really more pottery. More pottery was a factory in Zambia where we made basically ceramic bits and pieces. Then we had to close down the factory, and in closing, I had to find something else to do. My husband introduced me to a lady called Marissa Jordan, and she does wire baskets out of Durban, the Zulu baskets, and she does some very fine work, refined work, and she encouraged me to go out and research the baskets. I knew very little about baskets. I didn't even know how they were made. So, and I didn't even know how I was going to export these baskets. I hadn't a clue. I just basically had to grope and find my way, and I did. So, first port of call, of course, was Southern Province. So both of these baskets here, like for example, this one here. basket here is from the southern part of Zambia. It's from the southern part of Zambia, and this is also from the southern part of Zambia. But this is not like a traditional, you will see this is not like a traditional pattern, but this has come out of watching people like Marissa do things with the wire, with her wire, because she did some pieces, very nice pieces, very modern pieces, and this,
she put a twist on
yes,
the
so
tradition.
we put a twist on some of the traditional work as well here. So I went out to the southern province. I met villagers. I did not know any of them. They did not know me. It was just trust. We had to learn to trust each other. Here's this woman all the way from Lusaka. We don't know her. She wants to buy baskets from us.
Yes.
We want to collaborate and work together. And there began the journey. There have been ups and downs, but more ups than downs.
That's good.
Yes. So I'll focus mainly on the Tonga basket, but I do have also from the western part of Zambia.
Oh,
you know
these.
So you should know all these baskets. I have Makenge basket. So these are called Makenge. Yes. They're made out of root. Yes. So the women and the men, they strip the root and they use the coiling method. Yes, to make these baskets. These are called Mbunda baskets. You'll see the centers. They're very special. I don't know if you can see that. There's like a dip there before they start their work. Like a little. Yes, and then these are what they call the antiques. It looks antique. Yeah. So what happens is over time, these can last you a lifetime, but over time you might get a few pieces that are torn. So these, they mend them. This one is from the plateau area in Zambia, and you'll see it's basically made out of two fibers. There's the palms, and then you have the sticks. This one is made out of three. You have the palms, the sticks, and then you have the vines that wrap around. When I met the women I was working with, this was the shape they were traditionally producing. And I asked them to go out of their comfort zone and produce some bowls. So from the flat basket, they started producing these bowls. And for exports, we would produce them in a set of three and call them 3-in-1s. Can you see? This is a different shape from what they were traditionally used to making. Now, with this basket that's produced in the valley, the women can only, and the men that do it, because men do it as well, the pattern was on the front side of the basket. At the back, it also has a pattern, but not quite as intricate as the front one. And I would say to these women, I started preaching this maybe, I've been dancing with those women since 2002. I said, the day you start producing that design on the outside, then we could make all sorts of baskets together. But they'll tell me, no, it's impossible, we can't do it. Until about 2 years ago, through Marissa, we had a gentleman from Cape Town visit us, and he supplies lodges and hotels with lampshades. So after hounding them and really getting them like, think backwards, because I'm not a weaver myself. I'm an artist, but I'm not a weaver. But I said to them, think backwards. The way you weave forward, weave backwards. And fortunately, one of them sat and she really tried and she said, Eureka! And we managed to weave backwards. So we have a design that's on the outside now. Okay. Wow. And these are used, you can use them as lampshades, you can use them as laundry baskets and so on. And I not only work, like I said before, I not only work with rural women, I work with artisans based in Lusaka, and with them as well. You find most of them are on the roadside and they're selling their usual chairs. And if one person starts one design, then they all copy and do the same design.
Yeah.
So, but I've managed to have a working relationship with a lot of them, and they come and we make bespoke pieces for our clients. Like for example, just last week we had this. I love that. And these are lampshades as well. And usually these are gentlemen that know nothing but to make the cane.
Yes,
the cane.
Usual design.
The usual design. So it's evolved from just doing the traditional patterns to trying to make things that are, that can be utilized, like lampshades and laundry baskets, as well as changing the traditional colors that they use.
Yes.
We experiment. Like for example, there we've experimented.
Yeah, I see
with
a natural
color.
progression.
Yes.
From white into black. Yeah, like up there. I don't know if you see that. The ombre at the end. Yeah. And then also the other thing I've been able to do with these men and women, we've been able to travel all over the world together. I've managed to, I think, 15 women, I've managed to get them over to experience other cultures, other craftspeople, and think beyond just their setting in the rural areas. We've been together to the United States. Again, through a tip off from my friend Marissa, we were part of the folk art market for a very long time in Santa Fe, which was really good for the ladies and exposed them to a lot of things.
Do you find that a lot of these ladies, despite not having like formal training in basket making, because these are patterns and ways that have been sort of generational knowledge, are they easy to pick up new things, or are they eager to do these things?
I think it just depends on the individual artist.
Okay.
Yeah. Some of them are stuck in their ways and it takes a while, but some of them are eager to learn new things and move with the times. Yes.
Doing great work. Thank you. Guys, we will open it up for questions that you might want to ask Julia, and we will check the charts. You can just type your questions there, and then we'll read them out to her so that she can answer.
Okay, one question. Can you please show us a basic technique for weaving? Way too mellow.
Okay. Like I said, I'm not a weaver, but I've had to have workshops with the ladies, so I can also understand what they're doing in order for me to have like product design and development with them. We've had several workshops together. So, for example, I'll take this basket. Here. See this basket here? Yeah. Okay. This starts basically with the sticks. These. They're all little sticks. So if you look carefully at the center, you can see that they're sticks woven in and out together there at the center. So what happens is they start with these long sticks, because these sticks are long. So imagine this stick is from here to about there and the other way. So what will happen is they start on the ground. You will have to, let me demonstrate. Excuse my shoes. They'll most probably not be wearing shoes. But they start on the ground and they'll step on the basket this way and that way, so that they can weave. So they'll maybe weave like a row of maybe 4 this way and another 4 that way to get the base. So once they've got the base of the basket,
Can you see? In, out, and in, out. Strips of sticks. So once they get the base, then they will take the palm leaves and start in and out in each and every one of those sticks.
Like sewing over.
Yes, like sewing, weaving. So that's one method. The other method would be coiling. What have a coiling?
The coiling method.
Coiling method. Yes. I have a coiling method. Okay. I think the nearest one I've got here to show what would be a coil would be the finish here. That would be like you'd have something in the middle, whether it's grass or whether it's a root or reeds put together, and then you would coil. But you'd start from the center coiling and going around. I hope that answers your question.
So coiling method.
Yes.
And then sticks and my version of stitch weaving.
Yes.
The second question is, what significance does basket making have to the culture of the artists?
Okay. I think I am a victim.
Yes.
Because my father was Tonga. He's late now, but he was Tonga. So I leant towards that way. Okay. So for me, it was interesting to go and find out about my culture.
Yes.
And find out how the women actually weave the baskets, what they use them for, and so on. And also, I think culturally, this was an art that was passed down from generation to generation. But unfortunately, what we're finding now is what I call like master weavers.
Yes.
Some of them are pretty old and they die, and we don't pass on that knowledge to a younger generation. But you find like in the valley, you find like families of weavers.
Wow.
There are actually still families of weavers, to the point which can be a bit frustrating because not all of them are the perfect weavers. When you go there and you give them an order and say, make this, and you know that in the village you have what you call the master weavers who give you the perfect job.
Yes.
They want it to stay in the family.
Family secret.
Yes. So they'll give it to the cousin, the son, the daughter, the nephew, who will make a basket, but not quite so perfect.
Not like grannies.
Yes. Yeah. And then different regions have different uses of the basket and different patterns as well. Like different patterns are peculiar. Yes, to certain areas. You can learn that, you can see from a basket that this is peculiar to that region. Yeah. So culturally, I think that for me covers it.
Okay. Yeah. I'm reading the next question. I'm on the floor in a pool of baskets, loving it. Do you think you collaborate with creative visual artists, and if yes, how? Oh, that's from Alex. Alexander.
Yes, I do collaborate with creative visual artists. I don't know if you caught at the beginning. There's a young lady that we're working with, and she does like the pottery.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then also we another young gentleman who's with us.
Yes.
And he does. I love to work with, and we're in the process of collaborating with the local and work with us.
Yes.
And maybe in the long run, actually work with us on different programs and projects. Yep. In fact, the young lady who's working with us now, she's actually here on an internship.
Okay.
Yeah, because right now, because of the COVID situation, the college is, she's in second year and the college is closed. So she's been with us for a week, and so we are helping her develop her skills in terms of painting on ceramics.
Okay. There we go. One more question. How long does it take to make the average basket? That's from Jacob. Artist in residence.
Okay. Jacob, it really depends on what type of basket you're making. For example, this basket, these three,
Yep.
1, 2, these 3 baskets,
Yep. Let's see.
these 3 baskets, can you see?
Yes.
These 3 baskets,
Wait. Yep.
these 3 baskets took 2 days,
Okay.
okay? This basket, depending on whether it's a master weaver
Yeah.
or somebody who likes chatting on the phone and going off and eating mangoes in the mango season or going off somewhere else, can take anywhere between 5 to 14 days.
Okay.
Yes.
So size, material, and skill.
Yes.
Are all things perfect. Okay, Mohammed has one last question. Muhammad Ali. What's the average price of these baskets in South African rands, if possible? We're in Lusaka, Zambia, so we'll quote you in kwacha.
Yeah, I'll put you in kwacha, but it's
US
almost 1 to 1. The rate is almost 1 to 1. They vary anywhere between 15 kwacha and 750 kwacha.
Yep.
Depending on the basket.
And if they're big ornamental baskets,
again, if they're big ornamental baskets, it depends which region they come from. Those vary from 120 kwacha to 900 kwacha.
Yeah. So that's your range. So this would be, for example,
that would be about 30 kwacha.
So 30 rand,
30 kwacha, yeah.
Which would be
25
to 30 rand.
Yes.
But then when you look at the antique pieces,
yeah,
like the one on the wall,
yeah, anywhere between 750 kwacha. But when they're exported, they sell for $900. $1,500.
Size depends. So
yes,
900 to 1,500.
Yes. Yeah.
Lovely. Okay. Another question, Florence. Are there any special tools used for weaving?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Some baskets don't need tools.
Okay.
Apart from a cutter. That's it. Like these ones.
Oh, which they used to cut the pieces of the grass and then they...
That's it.
Okay.
But some, like these ones.
Those were the Mbunda ones?
No, yeah. Well, these are the Makenge.
Makenge.
Yes. They use
let's see.
Little tools that look like...
Makenge.
Yes, they look like sharp little screwdrivers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are these custom-made tools?
Well, they make homemade
tools.
Yes.
So these tools are made in the villages.
They use bicycle spokes.
Nice.
Yes, and
that is creative.
Yeah. To get,
Yeah. Okay, bicycle spokes.
Yes.
Alex, Jacob, let's try that. Hey, let's try. When we get back to Nkwashi, let's try and make a basket with a bicycle spoke.
Maybe I'm not.
Yes.
Maybe we can come here.
Yeah. We would love that.
Weaving plastic and all sorts of things, whatever materials.
There are some reeds by the Nkwashi Dam, like long reeds of grass. I could try dry some and we'll see.
You have to be careful because they have to be pliable as well.
Okay. Okay.
Right. Some of the skin you can use as well. Yes. Yeah.
We have a question from Kavanga Shakankale, who's in Stellenbosch, and he's asking, how can we get these in South Africa?
How can we get these in South Africa? Order them.
Order them from Hipego.
Yeah, order them from me, and I can get them down to you in a day or two, because it's just around the corner. The trucks are still moving.
Auntie Julia's trucks are still moving, despite COVID. Okay. All right. Well, I guess looking at time, we might wrap up. There is one question. What are the specific roots or sticks?
Okay. Again, I will focus on the Tonga baskets.
Okay. So the Malala palm.
Malala palm.
Yes.
Like a palm tree?
It's a palm tree. We call it the Malala palm. I think the whole region in Southern Africa, I think even in South Africa and Botswana, they are familiar with the Malala palm tree.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't grow very tall. Yeah. So that's one. And then the sticks, the local name is Nsamu.
Nsamu. Nsamu sticks.
Yes.
Zalipa, let's look for some Nsamu sticks.
And then the vine is called Ntende.
Ntende.
Yes. Those are the local names.
I'm in class today.
And then I forgot to mention one thing. It's like in treating the palms and everything.
Yes.
So they let them dry. But if they're too dry, then they become brittle and not so good and hard to work with.
Okay.
So when you harvest your palms, you let them dry, yes, but not too much. And then you steep them in water before you use them. If you want to get the dark color, you steep them in mud.
Oh, nice.
What is called in timber.
In timber.
Yeah, so by the water's edge, you get that black mud.
Yes, really dark and like
they
slimy.
Steep them in mud for a couple of days, and that darkens the root.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I hope that answers your question. George. I said that was the last one, George, but I think this is a very interesting session today. George is asking, and he'll be the last, I promise. Is it possible to use twine to make a basket?
Yes, it is. My grandmother would take the bark of a tree.
Yes.
And she would roll it.
Yes.
Into string.
Oh, wow.
She should roll it into twine.
Yes.
Yeah.
From bark to twine.
From bark, beat it.
Yes.
Beat it, and then she would roll it into
twine,
and she would use that as well.
Nice.
To make baskets. Yes.
So there we have it. History of Tonga baskets, Lozi baskets, Bunda baskets, different materials that we can use, different techniques. I've learned coiling method, placing sticks and then cross weaving. And dyeing, natural dyeing. Alex, natural dyeing. If you're there, natural dyeing. And it's quite black. Let me put it close to the camera.
The black dye is from a tree. It's like actually a shrub. So that shrub, they take the green leaves, boil them in an iron pot. It has to be a metal iron pot.
Okay.
And it turns it black.
Okay. Really, I feel like we're getting into the fun stuff at the end. Like this is all cool to me because go ahead.
And then the orange one, the orange one is a root. So they dry it and pound it into a powder and boil it. So that's the orange dye.
And you can dye cloth with it.
I have not tried it, but I assume you can if you can do it on this natural fiber.
Okay, Jacob asked a question. Jacob, sorry, I was in squat position in a pool of baskets, so I didn't see your earlier one. And he asked to say, where does your main clientele for baskets come from, and how did you cultivate your market? That's Jacob.
Clientele comes from the United States.
Oh.
They appreciate this basket.
Yep.
They appreciate the work, and you get really good prices from America.
Okay.
In the early days, I did Finland, I did England, I did Germany.
Yes.
The Germans too have an appreciation for the basket, for these baskets.
Yeah.
Where else in Europe did we do? We did Denmark as well. But the bulk is America, because we still even have AGOA there.
Yes.
The AGOA, the African Growth Opportunity Act.
Yes.
It's still ongoing, thank God. So our baskets can get into America duty free because they're from Africa and they're the real thing.
Handcrafted.
Yes. Yeah.
Lovely. Well, thank you, everyone. This was a very informative session. And we might have, if we are lucky, we might have a second series with ceramics, which at the beginning of this Zoom call, Julia mentioned that that was really the genesis of baskets. She started with ceramics. So hopefully, Julia will have another session with you about ceramics.
Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
And for the knowledge, I know the time is not enough.
My pleasure.
We've really enjoyed it. So
My pleasure.
thanks, everyone.
Yes. Stay safe and don't forget to mask up.
Yes.
Social distance.
Yes.
Wash your hands.
And sanitize.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.